Welcome to Messages from the Universe with Lori Wondra. Lori is an internationally renowned psychic medium, author, and shamanic practitioner, sharing insights from angels, guides, wisdom keepers, and teachers of the universe that help you navigate life's mysteries and transformations.
Hello, I am Lori Wondra, and thank you for listening. I can't believe I'm here today talking about the energies of November of 2025. It's a month of depth, renewal, and soul truths are all emerging. So let's dive in and take a look at the energy and the impacts for all of us. I'll end by going through all the impacts for each zodiac sign. November is always a month of descent, of moving inward, of the thinning of our veils, of deeper truths that are revealing themselves to us. This year, November 2025, carries the profound spiritual weight of weaving together numerology, eclipsed lunar residue, a Taurus full moon, a Scorpio new moon, and some deep planetary shifts. So we're going to peel all of that back today. Today I'm going to talk about the numerology insights. It's a universal month of 11 and in a universal year of 9. Full moon in Taurus, it's the beaver full moon. The new moon in Scorpio, it's at 28 degrees, and some people may read that as in Sagittarius, but it's really sitting in Scorpio, and just other planetary influences that are shaping this month. So first let's dive into numerology. In numerology, November is always the master number month 11. It's never reduced. In 2025, the universal year is a 9, the vibration of completion, wisdom, endings, and compassion. And when we pair that with the month of November, the 11, which is that 11/2 energy inside the 9-year cycle, the master 11 brings spiritual illumination, intuition, and heightened frequency. It opens portals of divine inspiration and asks us to align with higher truth, not fear. If you listen to last week's podcast, it was about the Scorpio portals that we're experiencing now. So themes of the 11-9 frequency include heightened intuition and psychic downloads. We can continue to get upgraded and get those codes and keys from the universe that are pushing out the old and turning on some gifts that have been laying dormant or have been hidden. This is about seeing truth beyond the illusion. We're seeing that in our political arena and just corporate America, our health systems, everywhere around the world. We're seeing the truth behind what we believed to be true in the past. It's about spiritual awakenings and synchronicities. It's a powerful dream and vision time. You might notice that you go into deeper sleep or you have powerful dreams throughout the night that wake you up. This is also the time that we need to balance our higher ideals, that's the 11, with some practicality, which is closure. What do we need to get rid of in order to bring all this good stuff in? Because we can't keep adding to our plate. Now, the number 2 vibration that's hidden within 11 also calls us into partnership, diplomacy, and harmony. Yet under the 9 vibration year, this means letting go of outdated relationships and stepping into soul-aligned ones. November becomes a month of karmic balancing through those relationships and revelations through our intuition. I keep telling people, don't be afraid to let things go because that's the universe creating space for you to allow something else to come in. Now, the full moon in Taurus on November 5th is the beaver moon, and that theme is about harvesting truth and grounding spirit. The full moon is at 14 degrees Taurus, and it shines as accumulation of the year's eclipses. Though not itself an eclipse, it arrives only weeks after September's potent Pisces lunar eclipse and the equinox that was resetting our fields, carrying a lingering vibration of karmic endings. So this is a time for you to go deep and let those things go. This is about karmic completion, contracts, and agreements that you are ending. Catch some of my previous podcasts on how this energy is lingering and what to do about that. And I've got a great podcast on how the eclipse energy continues to linger through these remaining months of the year. Now, Taurus is the sign of embodiment, of values. It's the earth's abundance, and it grounds us after the mystical tides of September and October. This full moon invites us to assess what is truly valuable, not just materially, but emotionally and spiritually. The key energies for you to watch out for is Uranus in Taurus remains very, very active, shaking our financial and our ecological systems. Sudden revelations around money, security, or resources might arise. Pluto in late Capricorn trines this moon, asking us to claim empowerment through transformation. And Venus, who's the ruler of Taurus, is in Libra, and that emphasizes harmony in relationships, urging balance between self and all others. Now, spiritual opportunities continue and those expand. That's going to expand well into 2026. But this time in November is about grounding spiritual lessons into tangible reality, reviewing financial, ecological, and energetic resources, both those external as well as our personal energetic resources. Where are we putting our energy? This is about awakening the body as a vessel of divine wisdom and turning on our light. I did a podcast recently about using your inner light, like you are the light. So this is a reminder of tapping into that. Releasing attachments to any outdated values. Let go of the things that have been bubbling up or cycling through these last 9 years and let them go. And if you like ceremonies or rituals, I have a suggestion. This might be to place some coins or some crystals or natural objects under the moonlight. Meditate on what true wealth truly means to you. Offer gratitude to Earth in all forms of abundance. I'm spending some time in northern Minnesota at the beginning of the month, just helping to groom some trails, and that's the giving back to Mother Nature, of honoring our connection that we have to all of Earth. Now, the new moon is in Scorpio, and again, some might read this as Sagittarius because it sits at 28 degrees Scorpio. That's on November 20th. That's the cold moon, and it's the second new moon of this autumn season. And the theme is Phoenix rising within. So that new moon at 28 degrees Scorpio closes one chapter and it ignites another. And that's where this Sagittarius energy too is about aiming what's ahead for us in the future. But Scorpio is a sign of transformation. It's about death and rebirth and intimacy and hidden power. This lunation carries the frequency of the phoenix, and the phoenix rising from the ashes with new strength. Now, my new book, Messages from the Universe, you can read about the phoenix energy and what that is. I'll give you a little clip here. The phoenix teaches us that endings are never final, that fire is not only destruction, but it's renewal, and that from those ashes of what has been, new life will always rise. Unlike the creatures of the forest or the fields or the seas, the phoenix is not bound to earthly existence. It is born of myth and legend and archetype. Yet its message is universal and enduring across cultures and lifetimes and centuries. The phoenix has appeared as this radiant bird of flame, consumed in fire only to be reborn from its own ashes. It is the eternal teacher of transformation, reminding us that cycles of death and rebirth are not only natural, but are necessary. I remember a time in my life when everything seemed to crumble all at once. We've all been there. Endings of relationships, losses of jobs, or changing of careers, the unraveling of old patterns, things that we thought we'd hold forever. And I know in my personal life, it felt like a burning, a dismantling of everything I knew, that overwhelming feeling of like nothing is ever going to be the same. And that's true, because yet in those ashes, in the season of ashes, something new begins to stir. A clarity, a strength, a new beginning. Those things that we might never, ever imagine possible. And if I look back personally in my life, I see the phoenix was within me, guiding me through the fire so that I could rise with new wings. And fire is transformation. The phoenix is a creature of flame, and the fire is its teacher. Fire consumes, but it also purifies. It burns away what no longer serves us, leaving behind only the essence that cannot be destroyed. So when the phoenix enters your awareness, it may be a sign that you're standing at the threshold of transformation, something in your life that may need to end. And though it feels like a loss, it is, in fact, truth as an opening. And the phoenix whispers, do not fear the fire. It is the passageway to your rebirth. The phoenix teaches us that endings are not failures. They're a part of a greater cycle that makes room for renewal. Just as forests regrow after fire and the seasons turn from death into spring, so too do we pass through cycles of release and awakening. And if you feel like you're in the ashes now, trust that your time of rising will come. If you are in fire, surrender to it. If you are rising, remember your wings are stronger because of what you have passed through. The hardest part of phoenix medicine is often our personal resistance to let go. We cling to old identities, relationships, or beliefs, even when they have already burned. The phoenix calls us to trust that what dies is not lost, it is transformed. So when the phoenix appears, ask yourself, what am I holding on to that is already ashes? What fire am I avoiding? The phoenix shows us that the path to freedom is not in clinging, but in release. Now, the new moon in Scorpio, November 20th, is closely aspecting Neptune in Pisces. So this moon on November 20th thins our personal veil between the worlds. This is about metaphysical visions, profound dreams, and deep emotional truths are all amplified. So the key energies at that time, mid-month, are Mars is in Leo. That squares the moon, and that's about passion meets resistance. Courage is required at that time. Neptune in Pisces trines the moon. This is about spiritual vision, creativity, and intuitive depth. And Jupiter in Cancer forms a supportive trine, amplifying emotional wisdom. Now, as we go through all the astrology signs, you'll see how those impact you personally. But the spiritual opportunities are about initiating transformation through release, committing to new levels of intimacy or trust, alchemizing shadow into power, and rebirth after a season of completion and closure. Might be a great time to light a candle in a dark room. Write down what must die within you to allow your rebirth. You can burn that paper, releasing it to the flame, and then meditate on the new life or the phoenix energy that's rising up from your experiences. And just to touch a little bit more on the other planetary influences, Saturn in Pisces is retrograde. That goes direct mid-month. Saturn's lessons are all about discipline in spirituality and compassion. Those areas are revisited. Emotional boundaries and spiritual responsibilities are highlighted. And Neptune in Pisces, well, that just heightens intuition, dreams, and creative flow. But be aware of illusion or escapism. Neptune is very watery, and I cast this kind of foggy or water. It's like looking through water at some of the situations in life. So just seek the truth and be aware that you might be holding some illusion or a belief that it's time to release. Now, Pluto in Capricorn, that's in the final degrees, is transformation of societal structures, and that's nearly complete. We're closing a 15-year cycle of power realignment. Uranus in Taurus, that continues to disrupt our financial systems, our agriculture, and our relationships to Earth. Expect surprising news. And Jupiter in Cancer, this expands our emotional healing, our family, our ancestral wisdom. We're coming to the ends of healing some of those deep and old ancestral wounds, learning and clearing them out of the way. This is a balm or a healing ointment to the intensity of other transits that we're experiencing. And Mars in Leo, well, that pushes us towards creative courage and visibility, but it might stir some conflict when ego resists to surrender. And together, these influences create a month of deep endings, profound spiritual visions, and courageous rebirths. So are you ready to take a walk through each of the zodiac signs and hear what they will experience in November 25? Now, I've provided an overview for each sign, plus an area that your soul is working on and a quick mantra to help you navigate through this month. All right, Aries, this month pulls you deep into questions of value and intimacy. The Taurus full moon illuminates your relationship with money and self-worth. The Scorpio new moon asks you to release control and trust deeper bonds. Saturn in Pisces challenges you to rest rather than risk burnout. Your soul work is about courage to share vulnerability, and your mantra is, true power is born in surrender. And Taurus, your annual full moon shines this month, placing you at the center of transformation. What you value, how you embody worth, and how you show up in relationships are all shifting. The Scorpio new moon brings renewal to partnerships, old contracts dissolve, and new ones emerge. Your soul work is about release outdated attachments. Let them go. Your mantra is, I trust the rebirth of love and value. And Gemini, well, November illuminates your daily rhythms and health. The full moon brings clarity around work or balance or body balance, while Scorpio new moon initiates profound changes in how you manage energy. Spiritual downloads may surge. Listen to your dreams. Might be a great month to do some journaling. And the soul work is about aligning the body and spirit through ceremony or ritual. And your mantra is, my daily practices shape my destiny. In Cancer, the Taurus full moon highlights friendships, community, and shared vision. Some alliances shift as truth is revealed. The Scorpio new moon fuels creativity, romance, and soul passion. Jupiter in your sign blesses you with emotional expansion. Trust your heart. Your soul work is about expressing love boldly. Your mantra is, I am safe to create from my soul. And Leo, for Leo, the full moon brings career and public recognition shifts. Something accumulates in your professional life. The Scorpio new moon redirects energy to home, to ancestry, and emotional roots. Mars in your sign fuels courage, but temper with humility. And your soul work is about balance outer success with inner sanctuary. Your mantra is, my roots anchor my rise. And Virgo, well, Virgo, the Taurus full moon expands your vision and spiritual philosophy. A cycle of learning or teaching accumulates. The Scorpio new moon awakens your voice for communication or writing or truth-telling. And Saturn in Pisces asks for discernment in all your relationships. Your soul work is about speaking the truth without perfectionism. And your mantra is, my words carry divine purpose. And Libra, November asks Libra to explore intimacy, trust, and shared resources. The Taurus full moon may bring revelations in finances or partnerships. The Scorpio new moon transforms your sense of worth. New confidence is born through shadow work. And your soul work is allowing vulnerability to deepen love. Your mantra is, I am worthy of trust and abundance. And Scorpio, your rebirth month is here. The Taurus full moon highlights relationships, what must end and what must continue or endure. The new moon in your sign begins a new personal cycle, shedding your old skin with courage. Mars squares the moon. Power emerges when ego dies. Your soul work is about claiming your phoenix rising, and your mantra is, I embrace the death that awakens new life. And Sagittarius, the Taurus full moon emphasizes health, body, and routine. It's time to restore balance. The Scorpio new moon draws you inward, inviting solitude and spiritual renewal before your birthday season. Jupiter, your ruler, blesses you with ancestral wisdom. Your soul work is retreat to recharge. And your mantra is, in stillness, my truth is born. And Capricorn, community and vision are front and center for you. The full moon highlights your creativity, while the Scorpio new moon renews friendships and collective projects. Pluto in your sign at final degrees urges you to claim leadership with integrity. Your soul work is lead by example, not control. And your mantra is, I create in harmony with the collective. And Aquarius, the Taurus full moon activates home, family, and ancestry. The Scorpio new moon ignites your career and soul purpose. Uranus is in your home sign, and that continues to push radical shifts, balancing personal roots and your public mission. Those are all key places to focus. Your soul work is about honoring the past while stepping into the future. And your mantra is, my legacy is born from my authenticity. And Pisces, well, this is a month of vision and voice. The Taurus full moon highlights communication and learning. The Scorpio new moon opens portals of spiritual study and higher wisdom. Saturn in your sign continues to refine discipline in your spiritual growth areas. And your soul work is claim your role as a mystic messenger. Your mantra is, my truth flows as divine wisdom. Now, November 2025 is a month of sacred descent and luminous rebirth. The master number 11 opens channels of intuition and divine guidance, while the 9-year cycle pushes closure and karmic resolution. The Taurus full moon grounds us in embodied truth, while the Scorpio new moon invites us into transformation and renewal. For each of us, this is not about endings, but about the alchemy of becoming. Like the phoenix, we are being asked to burn away illusion and rise radiant, truer than ever before. Let November be your initiation, a month to release, to listen deeply, to not be fearful of going into the depths of your soul, and to trust the rebirth is already awakening within. I want to thank you for listening today. I'm Lori Wondra of Your Life Core.
Thank you for listening to Messages from the Universe. For information about Lori Wondra's current events or to schedule a private session, visit her website, yourlifecore.com. You can also subscribe to her monthly newsletter. Lori also shares inspirational and informational messages on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening.